Welcome, everybody, to Clapping for Health. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and I just want to say this, okay? The more that you take personal action for yourself, look, you know that I talk about this all the time. It's not health care, it's self care, all right? It's not just about love, it's self love. Learning how to look after yourself is the greatest gift that you will ever give yourself on this planet. And understand something. You may not get this because when you are part of the majority, which does not look after itself at all, that is only in survival mode, and you are not in thriver mode, okay, you're never going to get what you need. This is not about being selfish. This is about being selfish enough to know what your needs are, okay, to have the best life ever. Don't tell me that I can come down here and have the best life ever unless I'm going to totally honor, respect, protect, and unconditionally love myself and my body from the minute I wake up until I go to bed. Learning how to create a perfect day lifestyle strategy is the way that we need to live today. Look, there's nothing wrong with you depending on health professionals to a certain degree. But guess what? You're with yourself 24/7. Do you know how many people say to me, okay, that they went to a doctor or a professional and they say, we'll keep an eye on that for you? Do you know what that actually means? We'll keep an eye on it. And if it grows, we're going to either have to poison it or cut it out. But I was talking to a gentleman this morning, and I mean this. And he said that his thyroid has tripled in size in a year. But they went and did, okay, they went and did an actual check on it where they take a little piece, very little piece. And they said it's benign. And I said, yeah, but you can't keep doing that. You can't keep poking at it. It's going to inflame it. And the reality is the reason why it got 3 times bigger is because if you don't change parts of your personality, you don't change your reality. If you don't change the invisible, which are your thoughts and the way that you live your day, okay, then you're not going to change the physical either. So we need to understand, you take a little bit of action, you'll have a little bit of change. You take massive personal action and you will see massive changes in your life, and you will become the walking, talking, breathing miracle that you've always wanted to be. And you'll find that the practitioner you were always looking for was hidden within yourself. You'll also find that you are a genius. You are a genius, and there's genius in everyone. But you need to be able to tap into that part of your brain where you actually go in and rewrite. You go in and rewrite your prominent, dominant beliefs from being weak, from not being intelligent enough, by not having enough power, by taking your power back with powerful beliefs. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about clapping for health. Understand something. Most people will look at me and they'll say, Dr. Wolfe, I don't get it. You want me to actually go in and create pain in my body. Understand something. I just want to say this. I don't want to go into it in great detail because I'm going to go through the whole body with clapping today. And the reason why I'm doing it is because guess what? I want everyone, okay? I want everyone to be able to start on this because come 2021, I am going to be doing every part of the human body. I am going to show you how to clap it. I'm going to show you how to do bottle work. Yeah, that's right, using a bottle to go in and help to break up the crystallization, the calcium, and the scar tissue, and how to use a clapper. And I'm going to show you what to do with diet and internal and external therapies on how you can go and take massive action in healing yourself well, because nobody else is going to do it. Unless you learn how to create a strategy from the minute you wake up until you go to bed, you're always going to be doing Band-Aid therapy. And that's what the majority of the population does out there. And you know that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take it might take me about 20 minutes, that's all. But understand something, when we go to do the masterclass in 2021, which is not that far away, and it'll be within the first few weeks of 2021, we're going to start doing the masterclass, and everyone will be able to watch it before we put it up into our library. So I'm just going to show you in 25 minutes how I would do the whole body, because if you want to take a look right here, take a look here. In Clapping for Health, which is in the Doc of Detox library, so go to docofdetoxlibrary.com, you'll find Clapping for Health. Now, you're first going to find the preparation video. Now understand something. How would you like to master one of the most powerful therapies on this planet? Yes, it is clapping, and you can do what we call chipping, okay, with this. It is the most powerful therapy on the planet when it comes to you taking massive personal action. Look, the first thing I want you to do is watch the clapping preparation video, okay? I know, it's almost 2 hours, but guess what? Is that a lot to invest when clapping is free, okay? And it's so powerful, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Then you're gonna watch Clapping Your Health, Clapping Your Heart and Lungs for Health. Now that one's about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Then you're gonna go into the clapping overview, and that's the one that we're shooting today. So if you wanna tell anyone, tell them to go to Clapping for Health Guide, click on that, and then tell them to go through this. Look at the day that we give you back the power and we make you understand that you do have the power, that you can reverse anything that you created, any disease you created, you can get rid of. Any disease you created, you could get rid of. But the thing is you're going to have to change your mind. You're going to have to retrain your brain. You're going to have to change parts of your personality to create a new reality for yourself. And that's what we're here to do. When we finish going through this right now, okay, when we finish going through the Clapping for Health, which I'm going to show you on the whole body, at the end, if you'd like to see my library, okay, all right, I'm going to show you my library. These are all the different guides, and in these guides, you have videos. And I truly believe that this is the strongest foundation to help you take personal action to create the perfect day lifestyle. All you need is some motivation. All of this is free to you. Understand something. All you got to do is take at least 45 minutes to an hour every day, and within 33 days, you will unleash the power to heal. So before I get into showing you how to clap your whole body, and like I said, this is just an overview. It's only a 20-minute so people can get started here before we release the Clapping Masterclass in 2021. I want to show you my library. In my library, we have lots of guides, and we have lots of videos, and we have master classes, and those master classes will be free until 2021, okay? So until New Year's Day, those master classes will be free to you. Now, in our guides, we have strategies all the way through. At the end of me showing you how to clap your whole body, in just a few minutes, I'm going to go through each one of these guides and talk about them and what's in them and the master classes. So if you'd like, stick around and I'll walk you through my library. So let's start talking about clapping. But before we get into the clapping, let me just say this. Okay, you'll be able to see this in my other videos. And if you watch the other clapping videos that are in the guide, but understand something. Everything physical started off from the invisible. Your image that you see life, that you see the way you are, creates thoughts. Those thoughts create physical matter. They created everything. The house you live in, the car you're in, how healthy your body is. Yeah, go figure. You're the one that holds the key. Now understand this. I'll make it short because I want to show you this. The average person has 10 major blocks in their body. Can you believe that? The average person, that's the majority, has 10 blocks. Anybody with an illness, and I'm not talking about a disease, Just they have inflammation, they have fibromyalgia, which is not a disease, by the way, it's just a symptom. But things like that have 20 blocks. Anybody with a disease, okay, being an autoimmune disease, has 30 blocks. And anybody with like things like cancer or where they have a life-threatening situation have 40 blocks in their body. And those blocks are made out of what? They're made out of crystallization, which is from lactic and uric acid that could not be eliminated properly out of the body. It's also made from the residue of what? Adrenaline and cortisol. So if you're a fearful person and you're not in charge of your emotions and you're dripping adrenaline or cortisol or pouring it into your body, then just know this. You're creating massive scar tissue in your body and you're creating displaced calcium. That means that you are pulling calcium every time you stress out, every time you dump adrenaline, every time you go into fear. You're pulling calcium from your bones, so then your bone structure becomes like Swiss cheese. That's right, tons of holes in it. You know, and until you learn how to master your emotions, you're going to keep on dumping the calcium. Now, why do you dump the calcium from your bones? Well, you dump the calcium from your bones because would you rather have Swiss cheese for bones, or would you rather have a life-threatening disease like cancer or a heart attack or a stroke? Because understand, if the pH changes in your blood just slightly, you can actually die. That's correct. So every time that you get fearful and you're pumping out the adrenaline and cortisol because you've never learned how to master your emotions, you are putting this acid into your body. The calcium has to be pulled to buffer it down to maintain the pH in your tissues and in your bloodstream. Now, if it doesn't, then we've got mutation, because if you drop your pH too far down and you become 35%, you create a 35% deficit in the oxygen that's being fed to your cells for 3 days or more, you could create mutation because your body says, I'd rather create cancer than die. That's right. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the work of Dr. Otto Warburg, who received the Nobel Prize for this. Now, so get this. Every time that you've got aches and pains in a certain place and they keep coming back and continually, every time that you go to brush your hair but it hurts, those are blocks. Every time you go to wipe your bum and you can't do it, that's a block somewhere. Every time you go to bend over and you feel a pain in your body and it's continual, that block is going to get worse and worse. Why is that? Well, here's the deal. Unless you get rid of that block with Wolfe non-surgical, with clapping, and with other strategies that we use, if there's continual pain and inflammation in that area, that block is going to get bigger because more scar tissue is going to be sent there called fibrin. More calcium from your bones is going to go there to wall off the inflammation so it doesn't spread, which I'm going to go into in a minute here. So let me try to explain it to you. If you watch the rest of these videos that are in Clapping for Health, you will get this, and you will not be questioning me whether I'm right or wrong, because you will know that this is the right thing to do if you want to get your health back, because it's all about physical blocks. It's all about circulation, but it's all about microcirculation. So wherever you have pain in your body, wherever you have stiffness in your body, wherever you have weakness in your body, you've got blockages. Let me explain it to you. Okay. So here's how it goes. Now let's say that this is muscle fibers. Whether this is muscle fibers or tendon fibers or ligament fibers, or it could be organ tissue, our tissue basically runs parallel. So let's say these are all muscle fibers. Now, in between every fiber, believe it or not, there's space. You couldn't see this unless you looked under a microscope. But the space between every fiber in your body is actually lymph flow, blood flow, oxygen, nutrition, going into the cells, and then toxins coming out to be carried away. So in with the good, out with the bad. Now, if you took a look at lactic and uric acid, that's something that the body can get rid of. Your metabolism can get rid of that. Normally it can get rid of it. You know what I really love? I love this part. When you actually have doctors, whether naturopaths or or medical. And you know what they say? Well, you know what? Detoxification is a farce. And you don't need to do it. Let me tell you something. They're absolutely right. If we lived in a natural world, now that you can see that your water is poisoned, the air is poisoned, your food is poisoned, your mind is poisoned, if we lived in a world where human beings actually came together to support each other through love, through kindness, through care, we would not have to do any of these things. But when you come up against all these invisible toxicities, it doesn't matter that you've got lungs that detoxify, you've got a bowel that detoxifies, skin that does it, liver that does it, lymph system that does it. I mean, there's a lot of detoxification organs in this body. And I'll tell you right now, if you're not going to take massive personal action on what we're coming up against out there, then understand something. Just take a look around you. Why does 80% of the population have an autoimmune disease? Which means that you are attacking yourself. But you're doing that because on an unconscious level, you're not aware or know how to take massive personal action. And this is what we're talking about here today. So let's go back to this. So we know that energy flow, lymph flow, blood flow, all is in between all the fibers. Now lactic and uric acid is kind of sticky. So if you're not eating right, if you're eating a low vibrational diet, if you have low vibrational thoughts, right? Depressed people don't actually have great circulation, right? People that are angry don't have great circulation. People that are fearful are not going to have great circulation because they're dumping the adrenaline, the cortisol, the histamine, and yeah, what a mess. We'll get to that. So the lactic and uric acid crystals are kind of sticky. So what happens is if you contract, like if you, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? So if you don't learn to open up and let go, okay, if your exercise are contractual, if your life is contractual, if you're fearful all the time, you're in contraction, what do you think is going to happen to these fibers? They're going to come together. The lactic and uric acid, they're sticky. So they may bring them together, but guess what? If you're fearful and you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol into your body, that will actually do what? Okay, try to picture a burger or a steak on the barbecue and you forget it. It shrinks and it's tough. You can hardly eat it, right? It becomes like beef jerky. Did you know when they make beef jerky, they'll take, it's from animals, right? Beef jerky. And they'll take tissue that is almost an inch thick. And when they're done dehydrating it, making it into beef jerky, it's only 1/8 of an inch. That's exactly what you're doing to your body. But when the adrenaline and the cortisol keep coming in, and you're in a contractual way, you're in a sympathetic way, not in a parasympathetic way where you're relaxing and healing, guess what? Your ligaments and tendons and muscles, they shorten. And then they also become thinner, like beef jerky. Because that's what beef jerky does. It goes shorter and then thinner. You know what people say to me? I'll tell you what they say to me. You know what they say? Dr. Wolfe, I've lost 2 inches in my height. I've lost so much bone. Then what did you lose? Like 2 inches of the top of your head or 2 inches of your legs? You didn't lose bone. What you lost was your vertebrae have discs. Those discs are made out of cartilage, right? Fibrous cartilage. And what happens is they should be this big and then they dehydrated down to very thin, almost like paper. Now, believe it or not, the same amount of fibers are still in there. All we got to do is get the blood supply, get the energy supply, get the lymph supply, and get the fluid, such as the water, back in. And then we get the sponginess back. So people got it really wrong here, okay? Like health is really messed up out there. So even if you went to a chiropractor and he keeps pushing your spine back in place, he's not considering how your ligaments or tendons have shortened. Okay, so he's going to keep on trying to push it in place, but it's going to pop out of place. Chiropractic is great, so don't get me wrong. But the reality is, do you know how many natural health practitioners do not understand scar tissue or displaced calcium or crystallization? And if you don't understand those 3 things, then you're going nowhere. Nothing's totally going to be reversed. And understand something, and you need to get this. This is really important. That guess what? I might be getting older in age, but I'm not getting older. Do you know how people know when they're getting older? Because they're getting stiffer. They have less energy, okay? They don't have the flexion. They don't have the extension. Flexion, extension. They don't feel flexible. They feel like if they move too fast, they're going to tear out. Well, yeah, beef jerky does tear. But understand, you can reverse all of this, and I'm going to show you how. And this clapping is part of that. It's part of that puzzle. Let me show you something. Remember your tissues? Blood flow, lymph flow, energy flow, lots of fluid in here, lots of life force, because the lactic and the uric acid can't be dumped out. They're sticky. It's sticking together, and you're freaking out, so you're tightening up. Okay, clench your fist, and keep your fist clenched for like 15 minutes, really as tight as you can. You won't even be able to open it up, and you'll lose the circulation. What do you think's happening here? So now this sticks together. The adrenaline and the cortisol, they're going to fry this up. So now this is going to become beef jerky, right? It's going to become thinner. It's going to become shorter. And guess what? It's going to be like super glue when it comes to adrenaline and cortisol. It's super glue. This is all just like almost welded together. Then what happens? Guess what else happens if it continues? Then it starts to shrink down on itself, and it becomes what? A knot. Oh, I've got a knot in my neck. I got a knot in my back. My hip feels like it's going to go out. My ankles, I don't have flexibility in my ankles anymore. I'm getting rheumatoid arthritis in my joints. Well, displaced calcium, scar tissue, crystallization. Doesn't matter where you talk about it. What do you think's happening in the spleen, in the liver, in the gallbladder? Everywhere else in the body, it's the same story, but people just don't get that. So what are you going to do? How are you going to get, okay, if I tie a knot in a string, is it longer or shorter? It's shorter, right? So we got to untie those knots. And then once we untie the knots, then we've got it, so there's the knot, untie the knot. Then once we untie the knot, then we got to open up the fibers. Now, what happens when you get a knot? Okay, well, that's a block. Do you think that's stopping blood flow? Do you think that's stopping lymph flow? Do you think that's stopping your energy flow, which is your chi energy? And what happens when that does that? Well, you're going to feel continual chaos in here because the blood wants to go by, the lymph wants to keep moving, the energy wants to keep moving, but it can't do it. So what does your body do? Well, if we've got too much scar tissue, too much crystallization there, your body's going to keep on bringing in the calcium, and it's going to create a calcium like wall around it so the inflammation doesn't spread. And also when that happens, you've got low vibrational tissue, and if you've got parasites, guess what? They're going to attack the area. If you've got fungus, it's going to attack the area. Just look, okay, let's say we're in Africa, okay, and there's a big herd of gazelle. So what happens is the ones that are weaker, older, sicker are in the back. Well, the tigers, the lions, the panthers are going to pick them off, aren't they? Okay? Well, that's the same thing. When you've got low vibrational tissue in your body, it's called issues in your tissues. Guess what? The inner terrain is going to decide what lives in there, what attacks you. Okay? So now, if you're low vibrational, where did the fungus come from? Where did the parasites come from? Where did the bad bacteria come from? It's all about terrain. You bring the vibration down in a tissue, and you create these things. The invisible creates the physical. Are you getting that? I hope you're getting this. So now what we want to do is we want to reverse that, because when we're talking about a wolf pack, guess what they do? Okay? In a wolf pack, what they do is they put the weak up front. Okay? So then the stronger go in the back so that nobody can come around and attack. So the reality is, what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to become a wolf. You need to become the leader of your body. You need to learn how to go in there and get rid of these blocks, because for every block that you get rid of, you just brought up your circulation, brought up your oxygen, brought up your nutrition, brought up your detoxification, and guess what? You're feeding your spirit. You give me somebody who's got cancer, you got somebody that's got anywhere from 30 to 40 blocks in their body. Do you think that doesn't bring down their vibration? If we don't open up these blocks all the way, so the person has a tumor in their breast, okay, but guess what? If I don't help, because where you're going to find most of the blocks is in the joints. You're going to find it in the ankles, you're going to find it in the knees, you're going to find it in the hips, you're going to find it in the elbows, and you're going to find it in the wrist, and you're going to find it throughout the spine. So the secrets lie in the joints, okay? Just so you know that. I'm not going to go through it all, but you can do a full body clapping by just clapping your ankles, your knees, front and back, your ankles all around, and by clapping your wrists, both sides, and your elbows, both sides and all around, but mainly the inside. That's called a full body clap. All right. So this is why we want to clap. So how many treatments is it going to take from the chiropractor or the massage therapist or the physiotherapist or from any other therapist or any other practitioner to get rid of all of this crystallization, replace this calcium back into your bones, and turn that beef jerky back into beautiful tissue? Because understand somewhere, if you come to us for Wolfe Non-Surgical, or you start doing the bottle work and you start doing the clapping work, guess what? You're not breaking up scar tissue that's going to be floating through your system that you have to eliminate. The reason why you have beef jerky is the life force has been blocked and locked away from the tissue. Between Wolfe Non-Surgical, clapping, and learning how to do the perfect day lifestyle, we're going to restore the breath of life back into the fibers, and that's why you can be young again. And that, my friend, is the secret to reversing your age. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to get what? We're going to get clapping. How does that sound? So before we start with the clapping, okay, here's the clapper. I just want to say this, that believe it or not, I understand why people need to take medication, anti-inflammatories, okay, all right, for their pain, for their inflammation, for their suffering. But the reality is if you continue to do that, the drugs are actually cutting off your body-brain connection. And even though the inflammation's still continuing, you don't feel it anymore, but you're still burning yourself up like beef jerky. And understand, if you want to continue to do that, that's your choice. But the reality is you are going to go to surgery. And the reality is North Americans have 9.2 surgeries in their lifetime because they've told their body to shut up, because they don't understand that pain is a GPS. Pain tells you when you're off track. And what I want to teach you to do is how to master your mind. That's my big goal, so that you can master your body, so that you understand that the GPS in your body is pain, and it's your friend, not a frenemy. You do not attack it. You do not tell it to shut up. And if you do that for a long term, you're going to go to surgery. They're going to be cutting out the beef jerky. And then you're going to have even more scar tissue from the surgery, which is going to create more pain. So now you got more medication, and it's the domino effect of medication, and surgery. So understand, surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. So even after you think you've healed from the surgery, you've got to deal with the scar tissue. And I want to tell you this, that if you were to get Wolfe Non-Surgical and you do the clapping, you'll have a total reversal, especially if you kick in the perfect day lifestyle. You'll have a total reversal, and you will make that tissue young again. It's as simple as that. I'm going to say this once, and I mean it lightly. This is not a promotion, so please do not take it that way. We give a money-back guarantee even if a person is booked for surgery, because that's how much we believe in what we're doing. And that is our calling card, our guarantee to you that you have an amazing body created by God Almighty, as long as we know the rules, okay? So I just wanted to state that. So now let's talk about clapping. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to clap your feet. But before we go to the foot, okay, I just want to say this, that here's how it works. If you want to test an area, okay, if you want to test an area, you're going to clap it for 5 minutes. You're going to clap it to your heartbeat, okay, and you're going to clap it. You can go lighter at the beginning, but let's make this clear. You can do that. That's nothing. I don't feel anything. It's more noise than anything. But to actually be therapeutic, and understand something, this is over time. I'm able to actually do this without, do I feel a sting? Yes. Does it bother me? No. Because I've learned how to master my mind, and I know that I can become the master of pain, not learn how to try to manage it. I don't need to manage pain. I've mastered it. Okay, so you can see the redness here. If I were to continue, this would get really red, And the last time I did this, I had a little couple spots in here, but you're going to have to go back and watch the video because I need you to get this. Before I start clapping, I want the rules to be very clear. That if we worked on someone and they were unwell, okay, and they didn't even know it, you need to understand that clapping and Wolfe non-surgical is the greatest diagnosis for the physical body. Why is that? Because the amount that you actually feel tender is the amount that your health is in jeopardy. And the amount that you actually have discoloration, now you're really in jeopardy. If you go red, that's natural. That's bringing blood to the surface. That's what that is. But if you go light purple, we know that we've got contaminated blood and contaminated tissues in the organs, because the organs are what? The pericardium, the heart, and the lungs are the meridian for this area. So when I'm clapping here and you see actual bruising coming from this area, we're not talking about, you could have an elbow problem here because you could have tennis elbow or you could have some type of injury here that's going to come out, but this is the meridian for what I just told you. And meridians, it's scientific. They're real, okay? They're energy portals for the body, okay? We'll get into that in another time. So, and if I clap for 5 minutes, that's a test. But to clap for 15 is therapeutic and is going to tell you where you stand. And if you watch the other videos, you'll understand this, especially the preparation video, that if it was dark purple, we know that you've got more contaminated tissue and more toxicity to deal with. If it's black, we know that you've got tissue that's actually rotting, and we know that your blood is really toxic and you're low in oxygen. So understand, if I clap myself and I bruise, I didn't bruise myself. I brought the bruising to the surface. It was already embedded in my fluids. It was embedded in my tissues. It was embedded in my joints. And you know what? Go ahead and tell that to the average natural health practitioner or doctor, and he'll say, you're crazy. Understand something. Healthy people don't bruise. There will be people bruising that don't even hit anything. They'll go, oh, I woke up with a bruise. How'd you get it? I don't know. Well, that's not a good sign. So let's make this perfectly clear that this is not abusive. Okay? What this is it's going in and bringing to the surface those emotions you couldn't process, that you buried, those toxins that were in the food, in the water, in the air, that got locked in the tissues that vibrated at the same level. So toxicity will go to where there's blocks. Toxicity will go to the tissue or the organ that has the same frequency. I'm not going to go into this in great detail because if I do, I'll lose you. But understand something. We will prove that this is a therapeutic technique that can turn you around and really help you. Especially if you incorporate Wolfe non-surgical and you get one of my therapists to go in and start pulling things apart, because the clapper, it will take you too long and you would have to go so hard at this to get rid of a lot of the scar tissue, the endometriosis, scar tissue from surgeries, fibroids, okay? Even nerve pain and things of that situation, calcium problems, crystallization problems. As we go more and more, I'll teach you more and more, all right? Hang in there with me, okay? Let's start off with the feet. So like I said, the foot is about a 15-minute, it's a 15-minute therapy to do your feet, okay? So understand that. So when we start the foot, we're going to come underneath right here at the heel. And all you're going to do is start clapping light. So the first time, just clap light. Clap the side, okay? And you can get the whole side of the foot, all right? Clap it until you feel like there's a lot of warmth. Clap it till you feel like it's red. Once it's red and once there's warmth, don't worry about it if it bruises. I promise you, there's no blood clotting. There's nothing. You're not breaking blood vessels. I know that people, it's very difficult for them to get this. But understand something. We have been so undermined. Okay, you got to remember that that actually clapping dates back thousands of years. Okay, so we're going to start off and we'll lightly do the area on the inner part of the foot. That's it. That's all I want you to do to start. If you've got bad feet, that means that your feet are crystallizing and they're calcifying. You're not going to be able to walk very well when you get older. It's just going to get worse and worse. The more blocks you have, the more blocks you get. So you clap that. Then what you're going to do, then you're going to clap the front. Okay, and just look at what I'm doing. So I did this. Now I'm going to come here, clap the top of my foot. You're not going to hurt yourself, so learn to play with it. And like I said, everyone, this is not supposed to be the master class. When we go to do the master class, we're going to get very precise, very in-depth into this. This is for people to start playing and understand that you've got a proper, powerful strategy that you can personally take on right now. Okay? So then we're going to clap here. Now, wherever you feel like you've had pain or where there's a block, you're going to do it longer. You can do on your toes. Look, for some of you, you're not going to be able to even go this hard. So just start off light. Get to know your clapper. And for those of you, just know this. If you go to docofdetox.com and you go to equipment, that's where you're going to find how to buy a clapper, okay? All right? And then you're going to come around and just be very thorough on the area. Look at, I don't care how light you go at the beginning. You're going to be able to go more and more. Be like the snail. You know how the snail just crawled along? You come outside, you open the door. Look at the snail there. You go inside, you make a coffee, you come out. Oh my gosh, where's the snail gone? Be gentle, okay? Be gentle, be patient. But lovingly give yourself a push every time you do the clapping to go a little longer and a little stronger. Do not be aggressive. Do not be triple A personality and the first time just whack the crap out of yourself. Please do not do that. Love yourself well. This is about loving yourself well. I hope you know that. There's nothing that I do that's supposed to be abusive to me. This is about loving yourself well. So then you're going to come around the front, and then you're going to come around the side, and you're going to clap. Find the position that makes the most comfortable. I would be on the floor usually. I'm trying to make it easy for everybody to video here. Now look, that stings, but okay. Don't become the pain. Be on the sidelines looking at the pain. And don't create more pain than you can handle, but understand, if you're the type of person that has fibromyalgia, if you're the type of person who says, I'm sensitive all the time, if you're the person that gets hurt all the time, this is going to be very hard for you to do because it's all about this first and foremost. So I've done the whole area. So then what I'm going to do is I can take the side here, this is called chipping, and this is called chipping. If it's a small area I need to get into, I'll use this, and if it's a bigger area to get into, I will use this side. So I can actually come here. If I had a bunion, okay, right here, I would chip it. I would chip it. And that's how you're going to pull it apart, because when you chip, okay, when you chip at something, you're going to be in there pulling the fibers apart. Now, it could take you time, but if I had a bunion and I was clapping, I would be forever there. If I'm chipping, okay, I can start pulling it apart. And I'm not going to get into this heavily today, but we would use DMSO gel, we would use Pain Away essential oil, and I will be talking about when we go into the new year, when we do the master class, about how you get rid of a bunion, how you get rid of, rheumatoid arthritis in your toes. We'll be talking about that area in detail. So then you can come out here and you can actually, if I had calcification here, I'd be working like this, chipping away at it, and then I'd be clapping it, chipping and then clapping. So you got to pick the area to work on, okay? If it was the back of my heel, okay, then I'm going to clap the back of my heel. But as I told you, in the new year, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to do bottle work too, how you can get in here with a bottle and actually work your heels and work the area and then do the clapping. So do you see? I just want you to go in and play. You're not going to hurt yourself. All right? I just want to go over everything because we want to only have this about, what, 20 minutes long? That's it. All right? And then just to go over it. So then we're going to do our upper leg. Our lower leg. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to get in there and clap. So you could be watching TV. You could be on the computer reading if you wanted. Make sure you're wearing your Tesla glasses or you'll be getting blue light poisoned. And right here where you maybe even have shin splints, right? You can go in here and work on the shin splints because they're like a whole bunch of ripped scar tissue all along here. And you can go in there and just work on it and chip away at them and then clap them. See? So wherever you find knots, you can chip away at it, whether you use this side or the smaller side. And then you're going to go in here and then just use your clapper. So then I'm going to go in this. I might just do today, I might only do this side and do this for, I told you 5 minutes is a sample area to see how well it is. 15 minutes is therapeutic, but you know, if it was this area here, and if I had pain in this part of my leg, I would clap this maybe for, honestly, no less than a half an hour. That's who I am. You do whatever you want, okay? Then I would do the other side of the leg. And see, I'm going to come right down on the side of the bone. If there was shin splints or I had problem here, look at, I can chip away at it. Like I just said, chip away at it. That's fine. You can see the whiteness. And I can go all the way down. And I didn't say it before, but you can actually go in here, and people who have problem with their ankles, which is most everybody, that's why you have problem walking, because the crystallization and the scar tissue and the calcium actually get caught in the ankle. So I can go in here and chip the area. And I'm also, like I said, going to show you how to do the bottle work, okay? We call it one-shot therapy. That's what we do. You can use a bottle or you can use a shot glass. And you can go in there, and I'm going to show you how to do this when we do the clapping. All right, so anyways, that's the ankle. And I showed you here on this side. I showed you on this side, so you'll clap all the way up. And see how this side has bumps and this is flat? I barely ever do the flat. Do the flat at the beginning and be nice to yourself. And just don't scare yourself away from doing this, please. And then I use the bumpy side. I like that better. It pulls apart better for me. But I've been doing this for a long time. So you can see even going like this, it's not distracting me like, oh my gosh. If I did just one like this, you go, what the heck? I get it. It's all about what your subconscious is used to, okay? So I'm used to clapping because I'm not going to get old. I'm not going to limp. I'm not going to have pain. I know how to master my pain. If you want to learn how to do it, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay. So then we're going to do the back of the leg. And you're going to do the same thing, right? So whatever area you're going to do, just play with it. You can't make a mistake. All right? And then I can do my lymph nodes back here. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. You start clapping back here and see what happens, especially if you've got swelling in here or you've got neuralgia pain in here. You really want to work your joints, the ankle, the knee, the back of the knee. You want to get things moving, okay? You see the redness already? I promise you're not going to hurt yourself, okay? So you'll be very thorough. We've done the sides, we've done the back. Look, it's all about clapping. I would do 15 minutes here. I would clap at least 5 minutes right here behind the knee. I'd clap 5 minutes, go gentle at the beginning. Start, just, you know what I mean? Stick your toe in the water, see how you like it, and watch what pops up. You're going to see black spots, bruising, whatever, but that's all poison coming out, guys. All right, so then what we're going to do is, guess what? We're going to do the knee. Yeah, so again, I told you that if you've got knee problems, and let's say I've got a pain right here, I'm going to chip away at it, right? I'm going to pull back a little bit, and I'm going to get my clapper and I'm going to chip away at it. But if you just want to try to do the knee, look at, you can do here, here, look at on the side. See how it's on, it's flat, it's flat, it's flat. So work your way around, play with the knee, go on top. And like I said, we'll be doing the one-shot therapy where we use a shot glass, and I'm going to show you how to break things up. And then we're going to be using DMSO rose cream or DSMO gel, and it'll be thorough. Everything we're doing will be about, every part of the body will be anywhere from 35 minutes to 40 minutes long. So I'm going to be showing you exercise. I'm going to be showing you everything that you need to do externally and internally for each part of the body. Okay, it's about time we took it all back. What do you think? So again, I'm going to work on the side here. And then if I had, like I felt, oh, I feel a knot here or something. I don't know what it is. It's bugging me. I'll go in here, see on an angle, a 45-degree angle, and I'll chip at it. After a while, you'll get good at this, okay? And then you can go back in once you've loosened it up by chipping at it, either this side or this side, and then you'll go back in and you could use the bumpy side and see if you can pull it apart a little more. You'd be surprised how powerful you really are. Okay, all right. So we've done all the sides. We did the front. Okay, the front is just like this. Look, and your knee might want, your leg might want to jump, but don't worry. Okay, and then you're going to come above, and you're going to come all the way and do right up to your hip. So you know what? This section like this should take 15 minutes. This should take 15 minutes on top, and then you're going to come in here, and then you're going to take 15 minutes. So if I was going to do this tonight, this area here, if I had problems in this area, this should be 15, 15, okay, 15, and then maybe 5 or 10 in the back, right? Okay, so you know, you're looking at an hour just to do from your knee up to your hip. You want to be thorough at this. I told you could do your whole body if you just wanted to do, just focus on the ankles, focus on the knees, focus on the wrists, focus on the elbow. But if I had a problem in this area, and look at, if you've got any problem in here, whether it's a fallopian tube problem, whether it's a bladder problem, prostate problem, ovarian problem, uteral problem, you know, whether you've got pain in this area, you can take your hands and you can do chopping right here. Okay, or if you move over your, because you're not going to wear clothes, right? And you're going to move your underwear over, you can use this and go right in here. Very crucial area to do. So you can chop, and then you can, like I said, you're going to clap, and you're really going to focus in here, the lymph nodes, right? So if you've got problems in your pelvic area, you really want to focus in this area from here about 3 inches on both sides, and then you're actually going to clap, okay, right on top, okay, right on top of the whole pelvis area. So we're going to angle it in here, okay, we're going to angle it right on top. See how I'm doing it? And then come over, switch hands, come on the angle. Of course, there's no clothes on again. Okay, so right here, you can do 5 minutes. Okay, I understand that. But guess what? You can do 5 minutes, but if you do 15 minutes or you do a half an hour, that's called a Braveheart hero's work. So understand, but like I said at the beginning, put a toe in. Oh my gosh, I did 5 minutes. I didn't die from it. Okay, the next morning I wake up, oh my God, it's black. Oh my gosh, what did I do? You didn't do anything. You brought the poison. You brought the contamination of tissues and fluid to the surface. That's all. Now, believe it or not, whenever I've had discoloration like that, I've worked on it the next day. If you want to wait until it goes away, you go ahead. If you want to be putting things on like Pain Away Essential Oil, Muscle Restore, or Rose Cream, that's great. It really is great for it. But, and if you want to wait until it heals, then you can go back in. It's just going to take longer to heal. Okay, yes, it's tender, but I would go back in there even if I had, whether it was light purple, dark purple, or black, I would just go in there and work on it. And I'm not telling you to do that. This is your body. You decide what you want to do with it, right? I am not your boss. I am not telling you what to do. You own it. Why don't you get used to it and get a relationship started with it and find out how much it loves when you start paying attention to it. Okay? So we basically, so then we're going to take a look at here, and we're going to do the back of the legs. So we've done everything up front wise to here and back here and the ankles, and we've done the groin here area. Okay? What we're going to do now, okay, is you're going to do the back of your leg, and you're going to do the same thing. Now, I want to tell you guys something. Guess what? You want to burn calories? You want to lose weight? You want to build muscle tone? You want to release stem cells? You want to create autophagy? Oh, all of it happens, okay? Understand what this does. This wakes up your immune system. This wakes up everything that's got to do with revitalizing your tissue cells, your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, your organs, okay? All right, so anyway, so you're just gonna do the same thing. Just clap. I would be doing 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes on the back of my leg. If you've got a partner, okay? Now remember, you're not gonna do all your body like this. I already told you, doing a whole body therapy is working on the main meridians, ankles, knees, elbows, okay, and wrists. That's called a whole body. If you want to do whole body, you can do parts of your body, and that's all. I'm showing you how to clap the whole body, but you're not going to do that. It's just like when we do Wolfe non-surgical. We can go in and release one knot like this, and it can take away so much pain for a person all over their body. And understand something. With neuralgia, okay, because a lot of people have it now, you know what that is? It's a scar tissue crystallization calcification issue. You don't have a dead nerve, and you probably don't even have a damaged nerve. They made that up, okay? Scar tissue wrapped itself around the nerve, so it's choking it off and pulling on it, whether it's a sciatic problem or any other nerve problem that could be in the neck or anywhere else in the body, okay? Understand something. The scar tissue wraps itself around like a snake, and the calcium then calcifies it if it's inflamed, right? So they say, oh my gosh, the nerve is dead, can't even find it anymore. Well, guess what? You come to us for 1 or 2 or 3 treatments, and guess what? Whether it's even in your spine, and they're gonna go, oh my gosh, the nerve came back alive. It was always alive. It was just wrapped up in scar tissue calcification and crystallization. So don't believe that. And when they say, oh, you've got to have spinal surgery because the nerve is dead, it's not dead. It'll come back alive, okay? So now we've done the back of the legs all the way up. You know how to do your butt. Most of the time, we're not going to do our butt. There's not too much of a problem there. You might have a hip problem, so you want to focus on that hip problem, right? And understand something. If you've got any type of problem in your body, if you start doing the doc of detox, okay, exercises, right, length and strength and detox and tone, like the pelvic squats, the crab stretch, and the pelvic enhancer, the belly button therapy, the core twister, you start doing those, you're going to get yourself into great shape, okay? That's what it's all about, length and strength and detox and tone, okay? So now, okay, so we basically did, what did we do? We did the whole body, didn't we? Up until the waistline, and we did the pelvis. So anybody knows how to do the abdomen if you want to do it. If you've got scar tissue here, let's say from a cesarean, you want to clap that. So basically, you're going to focus on that as long as you can, okay? And then you can also use things like DMSO gel or DMSO cream or Pain Away essential oil, muscle restore, things of that nature. And I'm going to teach you in the new year when we do the masterclass. So even if I had pain in my, let's say I had pain here, I would lightly go in and start clapping it. Oh yeah, I would. Watch how fast it leaves. Wherever you've got pain in the body, lightly go in and clap and see if it's making it feel better. Go a little harder, go a little deeper, and watch, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, it's gone. So whether you're talking about your shoulders or whether you're talking, your neck, or whether you're talking about your shoulders, it doesn't matter. So we're going to do the same thing. I would spend about 15 minutes just doing my abdomen if I wanted to tone my abdomen up, if I wanted to really get the circulation going, or if I had a pain here that I had a physical block, because most of the time it's a gas block or poop. There you go. And I would clap it, right, to get the circulation and heat things up. You want to heat things up, all right? And then If you want, you can do where? Well, if you want to do your kidneys, right? This is how you do it. So I'm doing right here is where my ribs are. So to do your kidneys, it's not that hard. You can get someone else to help you. But if your kidneys are, if you've got slow kidneys, if you got kidney disease, well, I don't know. You might want to lightly clap like this. See how it makes you feel. Go take like 10 days of clapping every day lightly and see how you feel. But the reality is remember, wherever you have a disease, you have a block. Do you get that? Dis-ease, block. Dis-ease, block. You got to get it. Scar tissue crystallization or calcification. So we did the kidneys, right? So if I wanted to do, I just want to show you this because you can't reach it all that good. If you wanted to do your spine, or if you wanted to do your shoulder blades, I really don't know why you think you need to stay in pain, okay? All right? You can reach most of it, right? You can reach even, see, look, I can reach my whole back. And understand something, if you get tired, then you're not in very good shape. There you go. If you get tired really fast, this is an exercise, okay? So you see how I can do my upper back? So you can clap both sides over here, as I just did over here, and then I'm gonna get my upper back right down to where I quit by coming this way. And if you can't reach by putting your arms like this, do the crab stretch. It's in the DIY guide. I have a video. I show how to do it. Start doing the pelvic squats, start doing the pelvic enhancer. And every time before you clap, you should always do the belly button therapy. So go take a look at my belly button therapy, right? It's in the DIY because belly button therapy gives you a 25% extra stretch in 5 minutes. Could you use it? Most people could. Most people are so tight that they can't get their arm back, they can't twist anything, nothing. But if you work at this, I promise you that if you work at this, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have the body back that you've always wanted. So you go ahead and you let any doctor or practitioner say they're going to keep an eye on it for you. What? Really? They're going to live with you? They're going to follow you around? No. They're going to treat you. Getting treated, you'll never get well. Getting trained on how to master your mind and your body, you will get well. So we did the whole back. We did this area. Okay. Now, for you women, when you go to do your breasts, okay, I want you to just use your hand. Your fingers will be in here under your armpit. If you feel fattiness under your armpit, that's lymph detoxification. Don't ask why your breasts are all fibrosed or have calcium deposits or they're in pain, okay? Or why they're sagging so bad. And they sag bad because they lose circulation. So if you want, start off here. Should do this all the time. Every day, women should be doing it, and men. Get the lymph going, but especially women. So the fingers are underneath the armpit and the hands right here, okay? Okay, and the other thing women should be doing, never go to a shower unless you're massaging your breasts. And first you massage your breasts, okay? And you push the toxins over to the lymph, which is your underarm. Push, push, push. 5 minutes of that, and then you do, just 3 minutes of clapping. That's all you got to do. And I'm telling you something, I just gave you the breast technique on how you are going to stay pain-free and help you to prevent and reverse cancers of that area of the body or any other inflammatory problem. It's all about supporting. It's all about you taking action. So, but let's talk about this first. So we did the abdomen. Okay, you can do your gallbladder if you have trouble. Start lightly. Go under the gallbladder area. Okay, if you have hiatal hernia or you have heartburn, what should you be doing? I'll be showing you how to do the bottle work plus this in the new year in the masterclass. Okay, so you can clap here if you've got hiatal hernia, heartburn. Come right up and do your whole sternum. Okay, do the whole sternum area, right? Come underneath if you are the type of woman that had like a bra with a wire in it, you've got tons of scar tissue in here, because understand something. That wire was picking up millions of phone calls, okay? And different frequencies, all right? And that's the irritation and the inflammation of the steel moving all the time. Usually you'll find right here with women who had a wire bra, there'll be a calcium deposit right here. This morning I just worked on 2 women, and I went to do a heart release. I couldn't do the heart release because when you do a heart release, you come up here, then you do the heart release. But I couldn't go in and do a Wolfe non-surgical heart release because they had so much calcium in here from the wire bra. And the one girl, her solar plexus right here was totally calcified. So we never did get there, but I'm going to go in there, not tomorrow, but in the next day. And I'm actually going to do their heart release for them. So, but let's go back to this. So you want to, even if you felt like you have a whole strip of scar tissue, you could do the chipping, right? To try to loosen up the fibers. Remember, they're all stuck together like a tight rope. I'm telling you, you won't hurt yourself. Just underneath your breast where that scar tissue is. And then you can start doing the clapping. Pick the side that best works for you, right? You can't work on the whole body at once, so don't do that. Pick the areas that are giving you trouble, focus on them, and when you get those turned around, you can focus on other places, okay? All right? And don't be afraid to do a little bit of light clapping and around the breast, above. Okay, so we've covered that area. And for men, you can see what I just did, so that's easy enough, right? So now what we've done is we've done all this. We've done the back. I know it's not thorough, but this is supposed to be 20 minutes long because this is not a training. So the other thing I didn't tell you is when you go to do your knees, you can use your hands too, right? So you come on both sides of the knees and you go clap, 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 clap. And then the front and the back, clap, clap. And some people will have trouble getting around to the back of their knee, but that's why we have partners. That's why we work together. That's why we heal together, okay? All right, so you can use your hand anywhere you want. I use a clapper because I would tire out, because I do clap my body a lot. And when you clap, if you're going to use your hand, understand something. You keep the wrist, don't make it like all solid, because look at all this. This is going to stress me out. So if I clap, look. Try to keep that wrist a little bit mobile and moving. And see, it's all happening from down here, not from up here where I'm going to create all kinds of stress, okay? All right, so we've done the whole body except we haven't done the arms, okay? And we haven't done the neck, and we haven't done the face and the head, and then we'll be done, okay? You're doing a great job, okay? So you can do clapping like this. Hey, this will wake you up. This will do it too, right? So you can use this, or you can use your clapper. I prefer my clapper. It actually stings more, so it's actually doing more. So if you've got hand problems, or your hands fall asleep, or they're stiff, you can do your hands. So you see how red it is already? So if I had like arthritis on this side, I would clap this side for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Oh, I would. I'd be really serious about it eventually. Maybe you only want to do it 1 minute to begin with, right? And I would clap here. Then I'd come right onto the wrist. Look at this, carpal tunnel syndrome. Hey, tell me that's not working, right? So we got carpal tunnel syndrome. So I'm going to clap that wrist really well. And a lot of people have problems in their thumb. So you might even, if you had like a lot of problems like tendonitis in your thumb, you might clap that thumb for the first time for 5 minutes, and then you might even go longer, okay? And then, like I said, you can always kick in and do some chipping. You're going to have to play with this and learn, guys. Go play with it, okay? And let's say you've had problem on this side, then you're just going to focus on this side. And you're going to do the sides of the hands. Look. So you see how red that's getting? Now understand something. If I were to just do this every day, and I had like arthritic hands, that's going to help so much. So then we're going to come onto this side, onto the tops of the hands, right? And we're going to do this as well. Look at. Now when I do the tops of the hands, I'm just using the last little piece of the clapper, because if I go here, it doesn't work. So you're just using, look at. I can clap the whole top. Clap in between the thumb and the finger, right in here. The side, right on the wrist. And when you're doing your hands and your wrist, because you might have a wrist problem, always come above the problem, at least a ways, and start working that area, okay? Okay, so I've done everything except, I even did my fingers, remember? Both sides. Then if you had, let's say, arthritic problems, like, okay, if you had a big arthritic joint there, you would use this one, the small little edges, okay? I call these, this is the crown chipper, because it looks like a crown, right? Okay, see how it looks like okay, see how sharp they are? I call this the crown because it looks like a little crown, okay? All right, okay? I call this the post. So this is the post side, this is the crown side, okay? So if I was gonna, let's say I had a big knot here, I would put my finger down on top of a table, and you can have like a towel under it if you want to keep it more comfort, but you want it pretty steady, and you would go in there and you would actually chip at this thing, because you can't take a big, hard scar tissue ball and clap it that it's gonna fall apart. You gotta go in and pull it apart first. So what you're gonna do is pull the knot apart by using, I would be using the crown side. And you'll know, it'll start to get red and it'll actually start to feel, oh my gosh, it's starting to feel softer. Oh, and it's swelling up a little bit. Oh, that's when you kick in. Now I'll clap that knuckle, right? And then, like I said, I'm also gonna be showing you how to do one-shot therapy. Yeah, we call it bottle work or one-shot therapy, because if you could use a bottom of a essential oil bottle, or we use a one-shot, what we call glass, which we'll be selling to everyone if you want to buy a one-shot therapy glass, and then you get a little bottle of muscle restore in there. Okay, so now we've done the fingers. Basically, if you do one finger, you can do them all, right? And you can come in between too. Some people, this is your lymph system reflex is in between the fingers. And again, you can you can just do a little bit of chipping, okay? When it's a bigger area, we call it chopping. When you're using your hand, chipping is when it's smaller. And you can chip in this area. And understand something, you are not hurting yourself, okay? All right, so we've covered the whole thing. Now what you can do is you can, when you want to do your arm, okay, first thing you always do is your elbow. Okay, you do your wrist and then you do in between. So I would come in here, clap for a bit here, and then, because understand, all the secrets lie in the joints. Then I'll come down here and do my wrist, and then I'll go in between. So everywhere in the body, if I was going to do my leg, I would do, if my leg wasn't a big problem, if it was a big problem, I would do my ankle, I'd do around my knee to loosen things up in both places, and then I would do the leg. If it's not a huge problem and you're just doing it for circulation, then you're fine, okay? So then you'll clap in here, and like I said, 5 minutes is to test an area to see the health of it. 15 minutes makes it therapeutic. So we would want to do at least 15 minutes on the inner arm. You got that right. And then we'll do 15 minutes on this side of the arm. Do around the elbow. This is the lower arm we're working on. Okay, and just work it. That's all. Go as hard as you, go as soft as you want. Don't go as hard as you want at the beginning. Gentle, loving steps at the beginning until you get your groove. It's like anything else. You buy a pair of running shoes. First thing you do is stretch, and then you go for a walk in them to break them in. Then you go for a light jog. And eventually, if you want to run farther, you'll run farther. But you got to get your body prepared for this stuff, psychologically and physically. Okay? All right. So then that's it. Okay? Let's say if I had an elbow problem, like a tennis elbow, guess what we're going to do? We'll go with the bigger one first. If it's on the side, look. And I'm going to chip at it. It actually is going to pull it apart. If I come on a 45-degree angle up or I come down, it's actually going to pull this apart. And this is where the tendons and ligaments are. And guess what? All secrets lie in the joints pretty well, guys. Okay? And you can do that on the inside or on the outside. Okay? Anyways, you got it. All right? So then we can go do the same thing. Clap here up to the shoulder. Clap the front, the back, and underneath. So again, that should take you no less, honestly, no less than 15 minutes to do this part. It could take you longer if you got the energy, if you're into turn this around, okay? But the first time, don't do more than 15 minutes, and then take a look in an hour and see what comes from below, okay? All right? So we're gonna clap. And when you're clapping, you know, I use the bumpy side when I do my shoulder, especially. Here's called the bicipital groove. This is where most people have the problem with their shoulders, and it's in the frozen shoulder. And you can even chip it if you want for a little bit, just to try to loosen things up. See, I go up, down. Okay, and then I'm going to clap. Just be thorough. So if the problem was mainly here, you would work on the elbow a teeny bit, and then you would work up here and take most of the time, and then just clap in between here and here, just till you get the redness, so that everything is working together, okay? But, you know, if I did 15 minutes from here to here, let's say, I would be doing 10 minutes just on this area if that was the problem, okay? All right, so there it is. We've done almost all of it. Now, here's my favorite. My favorite is the neck, the face, and the head, okay? Because I think you all are aware, if you've been following me, I lead a pretty active life. Now, in leading an active life, you know, you can get stress in your neck, your face, and your head. So I always start off first, and I always use the bumpy side. I already said that. I don't use the smooth side anymore. And I'll tell you something. The more you clap, the softer your skin gets. The more you clap, the more healthier your tissues get. Isn't that something? And so now I can use this rougher side because my tissue is softer but has more tone. Did you get that? I'm going to say it again. So people who have rough skin, dry skin, unhealthy skin, older looking skin have no tone. People that have nice skin, okay, I'll be 65, it's not so bad, eh? So who have nicer skin have great tone. And guess what? Increasing your circulation is the way to go. Increasing your microcirculation, let me tell you something, microcirculation will tell you what you're going to end up in the hospital with and how long you're going to live. That's microcirculation. Not genetics, not telomeres, none of that is true. It's your microcirculation where the key is, okay? So now I'm going to do the neck. So if I do the neck, first thing I do is I always start off bumpy, and I first do right here on my shoulder girdle, and I come around to my C7, and I do my C7 area, and I do the whole shoulder girdle, all right? So I'm not going to do both sides, okay? And then once I do the shoulder girdle thoroughly, then I come and I do my neck. Why do I do my neck so much? Well, because that's where my vagus nerve comes down right here. Most people, if you've got neck problems, then your vagus nerve is frozen, and it's usually frozen because you were in such a sympathetic state all the time. It's locked in, so you can't get back into a parasympathetic state. So I'm going to clap this area. I'm going to clap my neck until my neck feels so warm and so loved. I know you're going, so warm, so loved? Clapping yourself? Yeah, okay. So I will do that. So the shoulder gets done, the back of the neck, all the way up to my occiput. So I've done this whole area and my neck, right? So first I did the shoulder girdle. Then I came around, did C7 area, because for a lot of people, they have a bump here and everything's so tight. And then I'm going to come work along the side of the spine up to the occiput. So that's all done. And I'm going to work right up to underneath the jaw. That's all done. So let's say we've done that on both sides. Now what am I going to do? Okay. Well, believe it or not, I don't go to the face. I go next to my scalp. I'll just show you the procedure. I start usually here by the temple. And this is how hard I usually go when I do it, okay? So I'll go and I'll do this area here. Then I'll come over above the ear, work my way up, okay? So I'll work and I'll do this first. Okay, this section. So I'm gonna do this section first, and I don't stop until it feels so warm that it's just like, I'll tell you, it totally relaxes you out. Then I'll go, and what I'll do? I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'll come from the temple, and I'll come over, and I'll just do this area right here. Then what I'll do is I'll then take from here, and I'll come halfway, and I'll be really thorough, and I'll do the clapping right here. So let me just do it. And I'll start from my hairline, because guess what? You want your hair to grow back? Yeah. You want things to come back pretty well everywhere. It'll do it, okay? So I'll start at the hairline, and then I'll work my way back, and I'll come to just to the crown. Then I'll come and I'll do it onto this side, and I'll do the same thing, starting at the hairline, coming back to the crown. So now what I've done is I've done this whole area, right? Then I'm going to come around to the back, start at the occiput where I left off, and I'm going to really clear this area. Right here is where people get their headaches, where they get their tension. These are called the upper eyes of the body, okay? When we work on people and they've got neck problems, we'll do Wolfe non-surgical here on these eyes, and then we'll go down and we'll loosen up the C7, and most of the time, guess what? The neck problem goes away, and if it doesn't, it loosens it up enough that we can go in with our Wolfe non-surgical technique with our elbows and actually clean in between every vertebrae and give a person back their neck. And most times it can take 1 treatment to 3 treatments to do that. So back to the clapping. So then I'm going to come up and I'm going to work on the side of my ear. I'm going to work really thorough, so I'm going over quicker, I'm sorry. Okay, and I've done that side. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Side of the ear. And you know what? You're going to feel places when you hit, it's like knock, and you can tell that it's really hard and that the circulation's not good. I'll stay there until I am satisfied that it is as warm and heated up and feels like it's been loved and it's moving the circulation like it should in somebody that's healthy. Okay? Now I'll do my face. First thing I always do when I do my face, I do the TMJ area. This is where the anger builds up. Mostly on people. When it comes to anger, they build it up in their TMJ. That's why they grind their teeth a lot, okay? That's why they have to go and they get these mouth guards that are made. Sometimes they'll cost anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000. Yeah, guess what? We can go in there with Wolfe non-surgical. Anywhere in the body we can go in. And with, how about this? I will make you a promise that if you can come here, that in 3 minutes, okay, no matter what your problem is, I will make you feel better and do more therapeutically with Wolfe non-surgical using a technique I put together back when I was only 27 years old. I'm almost 65 now, so we've perfected it. And I will show you in 3 minutes that we can do more than all the other therapies out there, because it's all about untying the scar tissue and getting the breath of life back in to your tissue, okay? So now, when we do the clapping, we're going to start here with on the TMJ, the jaw area. And I'll go a little bit under here too, because I really like to emphasize most people are so tight in here, and this is where the vagus nerve is too. So we'll start here, come up onto the TMJ, and then we'll come and do the jawline. You see here, right to the chin, and I'll do this area. Got this? Okay. Then I'm going to face it up, and I'm going to do this area. Then I'm going to bring it forward and do the cheek area. Then I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to do beside the nose. And of course, I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to keep doing it until I feel like I've done what I needed to do. And then I'll even come here and just do the chin area here, right? Look. And then underneath the nose. You want to get rid of fine lines. You want to bring the tone back. You want a natural facelift. You want to get rid of discoloration in your face. Hey, this is what it's about, okay? All right. So after I do that, now I've just done half, haven't I? Now I'm going to come up here, just here where people get all that sinus tension, in here. And I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to use this much of the clapper, just 1 inch. And right here, I used to get headaches all the time. I used to have this big knot here. I don't get them anymore. Oh my God, what a relief. Because look at what I can do now. I used to go like this right here, and guess what? I couldn't take it. It would create such nerve pain, it would send me to the roof. Now look what I can do. I'm just trying to prove a point here. Then I'll come across, and I'll do just above my eyebrow, and on my eyebrow, then I'll come up, and I'll do the whole forehead here. Then I'm going to come, that's it. So I've just done this side of the face. I'm all done, aren't I? So now I'm going to come over and do the other side. Now, we just clapped, okay, and showed you how to clap, okay, your body. But this is not thorough. I am going to show you in the masterclass everything inside and out and what it's all about. We're going to show you how to do this, and we're going to show you how to do one-shot therapy, all right? You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be crippled. You don't have to have scar tissue. You don't have to be 50, the average 50-year-old, 40-year-old, 30-year-old. You don't have to be old and crippled up in your 80s. Understand, what I know and what I've learned from people that are much smarter than me in different areas of life that have shared their valuable information, we have put it together to create what we call the perfect day lifestyle. I'm going to keep on training you. I'm going to keep on telling you that there is a practitioner inside of you, and that you are not your authentic self until every belief inside your mind, that beautiful mind of yours, has been dipped in unconditional total love by you and made by you. The world has programmed you, okay, to take a piece of you continually until there's nothing left. I don't care where you are right now. Just know this, you don't have to stay there. Let's get started, loving baby steps, but gently gives ourselves a push every day and go a little further. If you were to improve yourself on an emotional and physical level by 1% every day, within 100 days, where would you be? I'll let you figure that out, okay? All right, so what I'd like to do right now is I want to go through our library. So I'm going to pull up a chair, okay? And I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to walk through the library. If those of you who would like to understand all the guides and all the strategies that we have put up here for free for you. If you take a look over here, this is the Doc of Detox library. If you look at, I want everybody to get this. Yesterday I did a one-a-day, and that one-a-day got over 110,000 views right now. And I got on there and I said, hey, we're going to have our Black Friday sale. You got to understand something, people. The last time we have sales, people were saying, why don't you advertise it more? Why don't you tell us more on Facebook? So actually, all I did was mention the sale, and then people jumped on top of me. I don't care about that. I know people are going to do that. Understand something. You don't have to ever buy one product, spend 1 penny with me, and I promise you, I will still give you more of what health is. And I will give you more support to create a perfect day lifestyle than anybody else. Just know that people who want to have a guide and a coach, we will do a perfect day consultation on you for one price, and we will support you and guide you for the rest of your life without charging you anymore. So understand something. Don't mix up my intentions, okay? Because my intentions are to give, not to take. And if that's not obvious, I'll make it obvious right now for everyone. Because guess what? We need to come together as family and stop bickering. You know, it's amazing how we'll attack each other. And meanwhile, we've got a group out there that have been actually undermining our health forever. So we're either going to come together, okay, or we're going to fall apart. So let's come together in love. All right? Now, the first one you'll see is called Healthy to 100. That's actually my book, and it's actually in a PDF style. So if you'd like to read Healthy to 100, you just have to click on that in my library, and there you go. It's yours. The next one is called The Perfect Day. Listen, The Perfect Day, we have put so much work into that. It's actually called The Perfect Day Lifestyle. Now, when you go into The Perfect Day, you're going to see videos, and and in the guide also, it has what's called 4 pillars, and it's going to teach you about whole plant-based, proper diet, exercise, okay, energy medicine, okay, and also detoxification. It's going to teach you everything. It's called 4 pillars, all right? So you'll go through that, and of course, everybody, don't go into The Perfect Day if you don't want to know about my products, or go into The Perfect Day and ignore them, okay? So let's make that perfectly clear, all right? The 4 pillars of life, that's where we've taken diet, nutrition, okay, energy medicine, supplementation, and exercise. And we've made those 4, and then we've told you the links in the videos and the things to read and do underneath them to make it easier if you didn't want to go into the whole Perfect Day guide. But in the Perfect Day guide, you've got all the blender drinks, you've got all the salads, you've got all the explanations of everything that we're trying to show you, okay? The next one is the personal treatment and training. If you're interested in having one of our master trainers come and teach you, or teach you and your partner together, or teach your whole family how to do Wolfe non-surgical, how to create the perfect day in emotional and nutritional level, we will send a master trainer to you, or you can come and stay in one of our condos. Okay? The next one is Emotional Intelligence for Life, the Braveheart Way. This is a guide that you can go in and read, and it talks about your emotions, how they can master you or you can master them. And it shows you techniques on how to get started, baby steps. Look at everything starts from the invisible and goes to the physical, and the emotional is 98% of all health and illness. But the reality is we can only go and show people physical first until they trust us. And most people have been taught to ignore the emotional, and where's that gotten us? So that's the Braveheart. Emotional Intelligence for Life, the Braveheart Way. The next thing is the 12 self-loving steps. If you just want to learn my 12 self-loving steps, which are amazing, please practice them, go read them, watch the video, okay? The next one is called Braveheart Way Masterclass. That's free to you until January the 1st, okay, just so you know. And it's not like my masterclass are going to be expensive, but we finally come to the conclusion that we have to charge something, because we are going to be creating some of the most beautiful documentary videos to show you extra and give you extra training, okay? Next thing is A to Z Wellness. Oh, wait a minute. The Braveheart Way Masterclass, that's like a 33-day training. So if you want to learn everything about emotions and about family and about government and about everything and every system and how they try to master you and how you can master yourself, that goes into great detail. The next one is, that was the Braveheart Masterclass. The next one is A to Z Wellness Master Guide, which is also our masterclass. That's another masterclass. And again, it's free until January 1st. And what do you get in there? Well, I'm going to explain everything from emotional to issues in your tissues, to why you're getting surgery, why you're on drugs, why it causes more surgery, and how to reverse all that. And then I show you every part of the body, what we do using Wolfe non-surgical, and how you do not have to go to surgery, and you actually now have a choice. Okay? The next one is Clapping for Health. That's That's the one that I'll be doing in the new year, Clapping for Health, okay? You'll also find this video that I'm doing right now. It'll be in that guide. And I already showed you the 3 videos you should watch, okay? Clapping preparation video, clapping your heart and lungs for health, and clapping overview, which is this, okay? Next one that we're going to talk about is how to become number 1 at the art of number 2. It's all about your poop. That's a 6-hour masterclass, and it will show you that the holy grail of healing is your large intestine. And if you looked after that, it would look after the rest of you on a physical level, okay? And that is a masterclass. Then this is called Spoiled Rotten. This is just 24 hours in the life of the all-American couple, okay? And how they don't even know that they are causing each other and themselves to go spoiled rotten. The next one's called The Domino Effect of Unhealthy Living. Understand, I'm going to show you that the large intestine is the Holy Grail, and from there you can see each domino fall, which is your organs. And you're going to see how the organs talk to each other, and they try to negotiate with each other like we try to do in real life, okay? The next one is called Cancer and Inflammation Scar Tissue Issue. This is going to teach you about how we get scar tissue and how that can actually go to cancerous tissue. The next one is called The Cancer Answer, and it's going to explain just some of the foundation about cancer and how it behaves. All right, Medical Mafia. This is actually goes back to 1910 when the AMA came evolved, and it tells you the whole history of bringing down the natural health industry and how they did it in 10 years. And why today people don't even know what natural is. People don't even know what healing is. And I hope that in the next year or two that we can change all of that globally as a family, okay? Next, 5G blue light toxicity. Check it out. Tells you all about 5G and blue light and what's going on and how you might want to protect yourself. The next one is called Structured Water, 4th phase water. Understand, that's what rain is. That's what the water is coming down off the mountains. And before you have Kangen water, before you have reverse or distilled or spring water, you always have structured water, because structured water is God-created water. And structured water, even though there could be a toxin in it, once it's structured, it protects you. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, the invisible creates the physical, and the invisible is all about energy. Okay, so you can read that over. Next, it's called 6-Day Advanced Water Fasting. In the second week of the new year, January, we will be doing a 6-day advanced water fasting challenge. We do it every 2 months usually. We want to introduce people into learning how to fast. We do advanced one. You should never fast on just water. Trust me when I say it, I will prove it. Because it's too hard, you dump the toxins out too fast, you become too acidic, you pull on the calcium, the inflammation, it'll exhaust your body. But we've actually, through studies, shown, and when you go in here, you'll actually see it's called Advanced Water Fasting and Calcium Ions. Watch that video in this guide, and you will understand what I'm talking about. That when you do advanced water fasting, we have 4 major products that we use. Doesn't turn on your digestive tract, but increase the fast by 400 at least % in creating stem cells, autophagy, and helping to restore your tissues and the health of your body. Okay? SAC Ionic Calcium. In here you'll find videos, 12 different videos, from autoimmune disease to cancer to dental problems. It goes right through the list. And we will give you enough science and documentation to prove that there's only one calcium product in the world that actually works. And it will actually pull all the calcium that has been displaced from your bones back into where it was displaced from. It will return your bones back to perfect, healthy state. And I can say it because there's enough science in it to prove it. Okay. Daily Cleansing Tea just talks about talks about our Daily Cleansing Tea. Daily Cleansing Tea is a product that you can take every morning, every night for life. You'll lose weight, and it just helps to support all your detox organs, has no stimulants, no laxatives, That's it. You check it out if you'd like. Essential oil guide. We carry our own line of Doc of Detox essential oils. The next one is the miracle of humic and fulvic acid. We also have all of our information about life crystals and how we create ATP in the body. Okay? You can read about those products if you want. Energy medicine guide. We talk about what energy medicine is, and we show some of the most latest breakthroughs in energy medicine in that guide. I Am Woman is going to become a masterclass that I will be releasing within the first quarter of 2021. Okay. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope it wasn't too long, but maybe and hopefully it was just long enough to help you understand something. There's a Braveheart hero inside all of us, and there is a practitioner, hidden practitioner within all of us, and there is a genius. And do not allow anyone or anything to dumb you down again, okay? Look it. Get your passion. Take massive personal action and change your life one baby step at a time. But do not say, I'm in the process. Visualize what you want. Visualize already being there. Visualize the healing. Okay? Visualize everything in life. Life that we live, the life we have, we saw as an image first. Do you like it? If you don't, change the image, because it's just a movie. You're the director, you're the writer, you're the producer. But guess what? Most importantly, you're the leading star. So you decide if you want to create a movie, okay, where it's an adventure and you get to be the hero at every moment during the day. And remember something, 3, 2, 1, teamwork makes the dream work. God bless, and thank you for joining me on Clapping for Health. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.